The Story of Jin Zhou and Jin Fan. Author: Jingzi Wu. Adapt: Shirliang. Painting: Pin Lu. Movie editing: Owen. Translation: Eddie. Shortly after Zhou Jin took office, he issued a notice for an examination. On the day of the examination, Jin Zhou took a roll call to the students and saw some of them were young and some were old, some had gorgeous clothes and some are ragged. The last Tong Xing came in, with thin yellow muscle, white beard, and a broken felt hat on his head. It was cold in December. He was wearing a thin cloth coat, frozen trembling. Jin Zhou saw this, thinking, this Tong Xing is probably as unlucky as I am. Now that I have the right, I must seriously examine his paper and not bury the talent. The old Tong Xing was the first to hand in his paper. Jin Zhou looked at him. The man looked obsequious in his worn clothes. And Jin Zhou himself appeared quite high with his cotton robe belt. Jin could not help feeling sorry for him. Then Jin Zhou got to know that his name was Jin Fan, who was 54 years old and had taken the exam more than 20 times. After Jin Fan kowtowed, Jin Zhou looked at his article on the paper. He was not satisfied at first. But after he read the articles of other candidates, Jin Zhou felt Jin Fan's better. I need to take a closer look at Jin Fan's, he thought. If it's really good, I can't miss and bury the talent. His hard work should not be in vain. After the exam, Jin Zhou found Jin Fan's paper and read his article 3 times. The more he read it, the more he felt that it was well written. Jin Zhou even started to appreciate his article. Finally, Jin Zhou let Jin Fan get the first place, and Jin Fan changed from a Tong Xing to a Xiukai. Jin Fan and other selected Xiukais went to see Jin Zhou. Jin Zhou gave Fan a great compliment. The next day, Jin Zhou returned to Jing City. Jin Fan alone sent him 30 miles away. Jin Zhou hoped that Jin Fan would go on to Jing City to take part in a higher level of exam. Jin Zhou came home. His mother and wife knew that he had been selected as a Xiukai. They were very happy. The next day, his father-in-law, Butcher Hu, came with some intestines and a bottle of wine. He was to congratulate, but as soon as he entered the door, he started to complain. He felt that it was a shame that his daughter married Jin Fan for more than 10 years and had been suffering. Jin Fan knew that his family was poor and he himself was incompetent. He bowed his head, speechless. After Butcher Hu left, several friends came to congratulate Jin Fan and asked him to go to the exam together. Jin Fan had no money to take the exam, so he went to his father-in-law Butcher Hu to borrow. The butcher had always looked down upon Jin Fan. He refused him and sarcasmed at him that he was just going to be a Xiukai and dreamed of punching above his weight. Butcher Hu not only did not lend the money, but his scolding words were getting worse. Jin Fan was dizzy with no confidence to respond. He had to swallow his anger and left. But he thought about Jin Zhou's words of encouragement and decided not give up. Then he summoned up courage to borrow money from his friends. His friends put together some money for him. Jin Fan did not go back home and went straight to the city with everyone to take the exam. After the examination, he rushed home and found his mother and wife had been hungry for 3 days. There was no rice at home. His mother asked Jin Fan to take the only hen, which could still lay eggs, to the market and sell it for some rice to cook. Shortly after Jin Fan left, 3 messengers rode to his door and one of them knocked on the gong while he got off the horse. Jin Fan's mother heard a gong outside the house and did not know what happened. She was so scared that she didn't dare to come out until she heard someone outside said that Jin Fan succeeded in the exam for Zhou Ren. Then came another 2 groups of messengers announcing the good news. People in the village also came over to see it. The messengers were waiting to get their money. Fan's mother did not know what to do and had to ask a neighbor to hurry to find Jin Fan. The neighbor ran to the market and saw Jin Fan was holding his chicken looking around for a buyer. The neighbor told him the news. Jin Fan was not happy to hear that, thinking that the neighbor was having fun with him. So he went on selling his chicken. Seeing Jin Fan did not believe, the neighbor became worried. He took away the chicken from his hand, put it aside and pulled him away. When they got home, the messengers and neighbors all gathered around at once. Jin Fan saw the announcement for the good news was already hung up. He looked and read it again, then clapped his hands and said, "That's great, I made it." Suddenly, Jin Fan fell down to his back, teeth close, unconscious. His mother panicked and asked the daughter-in-law to give him some water. After a while, Jin Fan woke, stood up quickly and ran out of the house, clapping and laughing. People were all startled. Not far away from his home, his foot fell into a pond. People picked him up. Jin Fan was all wet, his hair messy and his hands covered in mud. People pulled him up. But he still clapped and smiled. He then broke free of the crowd and ran straight to the market. People looked at each other, speechless. They thought he was crazy with joy and did not know what to do. His wife was also stunned. Jin Fan's mother sighed herself, crying. Everyone was afraid that something was wrong with him. They were following around him while discussing about solutions. Finally, one of the 3 messengers thought of a way: find someone he was most afraid of, and wake him up from the state of madness. People immediately thought of Butcher whom Jin was most afraid of. Then a young neighbor ran to whose house and happened to meet him halfway. Butcher who heard that his son-in-law was selected Zhou Ren, he came hurriedly with his guys, to congratulate, carrying pounds of meat and some money. Butcher who heard that he was asked to hit Jin Fan awake, he quickly said he did not dare to and also said his son-in-law was now Zhou Ren, the master. He described Jin as a song star in the sky. If he hit him, he was to be punished by the king underworld. Seeing Butcher who suddenly became respectful to his son-in-law, a neighbor said sarcastically, "You usually hit and yell at your son-in-law, the king underground remembered it a long time ago. Now what's the difference if you hit him once more?" Everyone kept persuading. Butcher who could not resist everyone and had to say yes. He then drank 2 bowls of wine in one go, which he said was to collect courage. Then, putting on his usual fierce look, he rolled up his oily sleeves, went together with a few people to the market to find Jin Fan. At the market, he saw Jin Fan, with his hair scattered, a bare foot and mud on his face, was clapping and shouting at the gate of a temple. With the strength of alcohol, Butcher who went to Jin Fan, fiercely shouted, and slapped over in Jin's face. Seeing the situation, the neighbors couldn't help laughing. Although he boldly hit Jin Fan, Butcher who was still afraid, his hands trembling, and he did not dare to hit him again. However, he did knock Jin Fan unconscious. The crowd hurriedly helped Jin Fan up, beat his back and fed him water. Everyone was busy for a while, and Jin Fan gradually woke up. His eyes lit up, consciousness restored. Butcher Hu stood aside, afraid and regretful, with hidden pain in his hand. Seeing his father-in-law standing in front of him, Jin Fan thought he was going to get beaten again, so he got up in a hurry. Butcher Hu held him down, kept saying good things and explained the reason for hitting him. Jin Fan stabilized his mood, cleaned up his hair, washed his face, put on his lost shoe that the neighbors found for him and went home with everyone. On the way home, Butcher Hu kept praising Jin Fan and boasting about himself. He said Jin Fan was talented and good-looking, and he himself was so wise to find such a nice husband for her daughter. To the door, Butcher Hu shouted, "Master back home." Jin Fan's mother hurried out of the house. Seeing his son back to normal, she couldn't help but rejoice. Jin Fan used the money that Butcher Hu had given him to reward the messengers, turned around and thanked his father-in-law and neighbors. Then came a decent-wearing man, holding a big red post in his hand. He said that the squire Mr. Zhang was coming to worship the new master Fan. Butcher Hu hurried into his daughter's room, and the neighbors left. Jin Fan hurriedly invited the guests into the room. This old man was also a Zhou Ren and had once been county magistrate. The two men kowtowed each other and agreed on mutual recognition of brothers. Then, the old man took 50 taels of silver from his housekeeper and handed it to Jin Fan. And he also generously gave Jin Fan a house of 3 big rooms. At first Jin Fan repeatedly refused, then he had to accept it and say thanks. The old man said goodbye happily. When all the guests left, Butcher Hu dared to get out of the room. Jin Fan asked his wife to open the silver bag given by Mr. Zhang, and he took out some silver and returned it to Butcher Hu. The amount was twice as much as the butcher gave him before. Butcher Hu first falsely refused and finally put the silver in his pocket. Saying thanks again and again, he walked away with a happy face. Since then, there were endless streams of visitors. Some came with farm produce, some with furniture, some even sent him shop rooms. In less than 2 or 3 months, not only did Jin Fan's family eat and wear without any worry, but also they hired maids and servants. Later, Fan chose a good day and moved to a new house. In order to celebrate the joy, they kept singing, drinking and inviting friends for several days. On the 4th day, Jin's mother got up early for a snack and she walked into the room. She saw her daughter-in-law, well-dressed, was urging maids and servants wash dishes and brush chopsticks. Fan's mother thought those dishes are borrowed from others, hurriedly told them to be careful. If broken, they would lose money. The maids and servants smiled, telling her that everything in the house, including the workers and the house itself, were belonging to the old lady, Jin's mother. The old lady heard this, looked carefully one by one at the fine porcelain dishes and silver-encrusted chopsticks, laughing heartily, "It's all ours." The old lady kept smiling and laughing, then suddenly fell back down unconscious. Everyone panicked and hurriedly sent someone to report to Jin Fan. By the time Jin Fan came back, the old lady had closed her eyes and died. Jin Fan cried and sighed at himself, not just because his mother didn't have a few days of good life. He had to follow the custom to keep filial piety at home, not be able to go to Jing City to participate in the next higher level of exam.